everyone, welcome again to the RetroGodFox YouTube channel. So what we've been doing recently is testing out the X360 mobile app, and we're going to continue doing that testing. But what I thought would be really helpful today is to show you the X360 mobile app itself, give you a quick bit of a walk around, some of the basic things of the app, stuff that just might generally interest you. So you can see we're on version 0.4a right now. I'm led to believe that 0.41 is not far off. There's been a lot of improvements that the dev has been making. We're really excited to try those, especially some of the sound improvements, and we should also expect some improvements to play speed in games. So what you'll notice when you first log into the app, you'll be able to see the last game played and then have a couple of different options to be able to jump into your game library, right? You'll be able to use your bumpers to come across to games, right? Or you'll be able to use touch controls, right? Or your D-pad. All right, so plenty of different ways to really quickly access your games library. And just on a quick note with your games library as well, all right, you'll be able to store games on your internal drive on the device itself, right? So I've got the Odin 2 Portal Max, all right, with that 1 terabyte storage. That's been really super helpful. And I also have a 1 terabyte SD card in this, right? I've got about 51 different games on the internal storage right now, and then I think it's about another 50 games on the SD card. So I've got about 100 games that I'm testing out right now. So what you'll also do when you first open the app, right, is you'll be prompted to go through and do the creation of your profile. Right, once your profile has been created, right, you'll be able to see the number of games that you've got, your game score, your achievement score there. Hopefully this will tie into retro achievements as well in the future. All right, but if we jump across also to the settings tab, right, you'll be able to see that we've got a lot of different settings here that we can touch into already. And now one of the most important ones that we've been using, right, is in video, right, where we have the ability to be able to change the turnip driver that we're using. I've been testing out just with the system driver that just comes with it, and then the preferred one so far has been the Mr. Purple T26, right? We're also testing out the T27 and the T28 that's just been released. Honestly, the T26 seems to be the best one so far. T27, some games, minor improvements. Yeah, we've got some people who are testing out other drivers as well, but seems so far that the T26 is going to get you there on all Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 devices, right? So you've got to think like your AYM Thor, all right, or the Retroid Pocket 6 are probably going to be very popular devices that people will be using with this. So yeah, just keep that in mind as you go forward, but absolutely that ability to be able to go and import custom drivers in the future. So we also have diagnostics and reports that are getting sent off as this is part of the dev. All right, but across over here in the info section, right, you'll be able to see all the different testers and supporters, and then there's RetroGodFox just there in case you're wondering whether I am one of the official testers or not. But look, huge shout out to the team that's making this possible, to all the other testers that have been involved. This has been a really awesome, upgrade and improvement in the way that we can play X360 games on mobile devices. You know, we obviously had AX360E there for a fair while, and that's been a really awesome experience for a couple of games. But the vast majority of games have actually remained unplayable on the AX360E app, right? And what I've also found is the games that are playable on AX360E generally are quite playable on this version of the app, and they play better in most circumstances. So probably the next thing that people want to see is, well, what do we do when we jump into a game? Simple, really easy, really straightforward. Let's see, a bit of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, right? A little bit of a classic game there, I know, for a lot of us. Right, I'm so glad that this is one of the ones that is definitely now playable. There's still a couple of optimizations to go with it, but look, definitely in that playable status. All right, what we'll do is we'll just jump straight in, do a really quick game test, just so you can see that this is the actual app and that it works. I'm going to go through, resume the game that I was playing there at the time. Right. So I'm sure a lot of you will remember this level. All right, this is just the opening level after you've gone through and you've done the test level to sort of figure out whether you're a regular, recruit, hardened, or veteran.
Cash, stay in the bird till we secure the deck. Roger that. Squad, on me. Stairs, clear. Last call. Hallway, clear. Sweet dreams.
Make sure we pick up that intel.
Move up. Forward deck's clear. Green light on Alpha. Go.
Alright, so you can see it's not like entirely smooth, but this is absolutely in the playable category for me.
Bat out. 3 meter spread.
Alright, can, like, you know, bog down just that tiniest bit when you're in really intense firefights.
Target neutralized. Tango down.
Alright, we'll jump back in when we get into the thick of it in just a second.
I like to keep this for close encounters. Too right, mate. On my mark. Go. Check your corners. Move. Check those corners. Clear left. Clear right. Hallway, clear. Move up. Stairs.
Alright, so here we go. You see what I mean by just bogs down just that little, but absolutely still playable. I've definitely had much worse play experiences. Alright, so I only really wanted to make this a really short video today, guys. So just to exit the game, probably something that's really important. Alright, yes, you can go in and you can hit your save and it will save the game from the in-game menu. Alright, but just swipe in from the left, just hit exit, and boom, there you are. You're back at your game selection, and then you can just jump straight into another game. Or, as I said, go across into your settings. Alright, jump straight in, change your driver, go back into the game. And then something else that I thought was just a really cool little touch is just the way that he's just got the A, B, X, Y buttons here. You know, look, I just think that beautiful little touch is just really making this a really fantastic playing experience. Look, I think that's all that I've got for you today, guys. If anybody wants me to show them another particular feature of the app that maybe I haven't covered today as well, please let me know in the comments. More than happy to do so. But I think we'll leave it there and look forward to more videos where we'll be testing more X360 mobile games on the Odin 2 Portal, on the AYN Thor, and then also the Retroid Pocket 6. Now, this is going to be the 8GB model, right, where both my Odin 2 Portal and my AYN Thor are the max variants. So we'll be able to see that really clear difference in performance. So I might do that with the next game. All right, thanks all once again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.